Hi guys. I am going to get on here and do a book review for The Outsiders. I don't know if I like my lighting today. I think it's too bright. But let me know in a comment down below if you think so. And maybe what I could do to change that. Anyways, it is, let's see what time it is, 8:18 in the morning, and I wanted to get this up on Friday like I normally do all my videos, but that didn't happen. My iPad was being very uncooperative. Is that a word? Anyways, I was not having a good deal of luck with technology on Friday, and Saturday I was busy, so I'm getting it up now on Sunday. I'm still gonna try and do another video on Friday, but yeah, we'll see. Anyways, grab yourself some tea or whatever drink you like, coffee, it doesn't matter. Maybe grab a snack. I haven't eaten yet this morning, but I'm going to give you my review on The Outsiders. So, I'm going to read the back of it for you. It says, Ponyboy can count on his brothers and on his friends, but not on much else besides trouble with the socks. A vicious gang of rich kids whose idea of a good time is beating up greasers like Ponyboy. At least he knows what to expect, until the night someone takes things too far. So I'm going to be very candid and say this book gave me Riverdale vibes. And I know that's probably inaccurate to say, but considering the book came way before Riverdale, I think this book was published in like 1967 or something like that, or copyrighted. And yeah, it gave me Riverdale vibes, I guess because of the, well, Riverdale and 50s vibes, which Riverdale has a 50s vibe, but I guess because of the similarities between the gangs, I guess, you know, in this book it's the socks and the greasers. In Riverdale it's, what is it? I watch the show all the time, and now I can't remember. Oh, the serpents. And I don't remember what the other one is called. But I could definitely see how Riverdale took some pointers from The Outsiders. So basically, the book starts out really slow. Like, not much happens in the first couple of chapters. And disclaimer, if you have not read The Outsiders or seen the movie, there will be spoilers in this video. If you don't like spoilers, click out now. So, not much happens until Ponyboy, Dally, and Johnny meet these two girls at the drive-in movie. I think their name was Cherry, or maybe it was Sherry, I don't know. But it was spelled Cherry in the book. So I'm going to go with Cherry. And I don't remember the other girl's name. I'm really bad with names, as you can tell. But not much happens until they meet up with the two girls. And they go to bring the girls home. And they run into Cherry's boyfriend, Bob. And Bob tries to drown Ponyboy, who's like one of the younger members of the Greaser gang. And in order to save Ponyboy's life, Johnny kills Bob. Well, then they go and tell Dally what happened, and Dally gets them basically out of town. So they end up, Ponyboy and Johnny, staying in this abandoned church for like a week. And then finally Dally comes back to meet them, and they go to get food. Well, when they come back, the church is on fire, and there are kids stuck inside of the church. And Ponyboy feels really bad because he thinks that he and Johnny are the ones that accidentally started the fire because they were smoking in the church, and he figured one of them must have not put out their cigarette good enough and it started the fire. I'm so itchy. So they end up in the hospital, and they're both hurt. Well, Dally isn't hurt, but Johnny and Ponyboy are in pretty bad shape. And it turns out that, unfortunately, Johnny doesn't make it. And obviously the Greaser gang is distraught about that. I mean, Johnny, out of all of them, probably had it worse off at home. Johnny was like the gang's pet, in a sense. So, obviously the gang is really upset about it, and they still have the hearing to worry about, and from Bob's death, and Ponyboy's afraid that, they're going to make him go to a boys' home away from his brothers, Soda and Derry. And he just has a lot on his plate. So his grades start slipping, and his English teacher basically tells him, look, I know you've had a lot going on right now. If you can make a C on this last assignment, I'll give you, if you can come up with a theme for this last assignment, I'll give you a C average for your grade, and you can barely pass. So Johnny goes home, and after having a fight with his older brother and a race with both of his brothers, he finds a copy of Gone with the Wind, which is a book he and Johnny read while they were hiding out in the church. They read that book all the time. And it turns out that Johnny had left a letter for Ponyboy. And it basically said, hey, I'm okay with dying now, and I see that it was worth it to save those kids. keep looking at sunsets and told Dally to look at one. Well, it's a little too late for that because something happens to Dally. I won't tell you what, but he was overcome with grief. I will say that about Johnny. And one of the reasons why Johnny wanted Ponyboy to keep looking at sunsets was because there was a poem in the book by Robert Frost. I don't know if I can find it, but I think the name of it was Everything's Gold. I don't really know what chapter it was in. I wish I could find it because I would love to read it for you guys. But I don't know where it's at. But look up Robert Frost Gold and it should come up on Google if you want to read it. And it was telling Ponyboy in the letter that he finally figured out what that poem meant. And anyways, fast forward, Johnny's letter helps Ponyboy to write his English assignment. And I'll read you I think it's the last page. Okay, here it is. It says, I sat down and picked up my pen and thought for a minute, remembering a handsome, dark boy with a reckless grin and a hot temper. A tough, tow-headed boy with a cigarette in his mouth and a bitter grin on his hard face. Remembering, and this time it didn't hurt, a quiet, defeated-looking 16-year-old whose hair needed cutting badly and who had black eyes with a frightened expression to them. 1 week had taken all three of them, and I decided I could tell people, beginning with my English teacher. I wondered for a long time how to start that theme, how to start writing about something that was important to me, and finally began like this. And this is when we find out, well, I'll just read the rest of it. When I stepped out into the bright sunlight from the darkness of the movie house, I had only two things on my mind, Paul Newman and a ride home. We find out that Ponyboy's writing assignment is this story. This is Ponyboy's writing assignment. And I swear when I read those last lines, it gave me chills. Because when you start the book, it says the exact same thing. When I stepped out into the bright sunlight from the darkness of the movie house, I had only two things on my mind, Paul Newman and a ride home. The way that Hinton wrote this book is incredible. I love how he did that, and it really inspires me in my own writing, even though I definitely don't write professionally or as much as I would like to. It does inspire me. So I highly suggest that you pick up this book and read it if you haven't already. And I'm going to be watching the movie to it next. I'm going to see if I can do a reaction video when I watch the movie. Let me know if you guys would be interested in that. Anyways, thank you for watching this review. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a great week, and remember, you are too beautiful.